Hello and welcome back to Cast On, a knitting podcast where I talk about my finished objects, my whips, some yarn acquisitions and some more knitting things. My name is Ellie, I am from Austria and this is episode number 44. Hello, I am so glad you could join me once again. I hope you're all doing really well. I know it's been quite some time. It's been about a month, I believe. Life has just been really busy and a lot of things happened and I just lost my mojo once again. The weather has been crazy as well, so that definitely didn't help, but when I come home I just don't want to do anything. I don't want to knit, I don't want to read, I just want to lay on the sofa and be. So that is why I didn't film an episode in between, because I had nothing to show you because I wouldn't work on anything. But I am back. I have some things to show you, even though my mojo is still very much missing. I'm trying to get back into it. The usual stuff, as we know. I am drinking a cup of tea. Let me get it. Here I have it in my unicorn mug. It's some Yorkshire tea with milk, which my throat greatly appreciates. Whenever I film these videos, it's most of the times the first time I'm talking for that day. So my voice is still a little bit rough because I'm filming in the mornings. Okay, let's put it back. Yeah. Today I am wearing my lovely trusty Moby sweater. I really do love this piece. I do want to make a second one, maybe not for me because I'm just really incredibly happy with the one that I have, but the pattern was so much fun to knit that I really want to gift it to someone. But we'll see if that happens, because as you know from the previous episodes, I've been working on a lot of cabled patterns and I'm kind of done with cables for now. Yeah, we'll see what happens. If you hear noise, I'm really sorry about that. It is during the week, and because I do live opposite a factory, they get deliveries in the mornings, so it can be a little bit louder. Also, the sun just came out. It's been really cold and very rainy. 2 weeks ago it's almost been 30 degrees and then it dropped down to 5, which was not great for anyone who's really weather sensitive. So that wasn't fun. So it's going back up this weekend as well. We'll see what happens afterwards if it drops back down again, but I think now it's steadily becoming warmer and I'm kind of looking forward to that. At the same time I'm not, because I do like to wear my sweaters and I don't like summer because summer is just way too hot for me. But we'll see. Very quickly before we get into this episode, I have an announcement because I am a brand ambassador for Hirismakes. She is currently running the Hirismakes Summer Top Cowl, which is very exciting because I will also be participating, and you can get a discount for your order if you use the code MARVELLY10. The link is down below. You can knit any of her summer patterns by July and then you will get 25% off your order of any of her patterns if you have participated in there. Go and check out her Instagram post for more information. She also has discount codes for bundles, and if you buy a certain amount of patterns at once you get discounts, and on top of that you can use my code for an additional 10% off if you use that then as well. So go and check that out. Very exciting, and let's get started with the episode. Enough rambling for about 3.5 minutes. Let's get into finished objects, and I do have one finished object finally. You might have guessed it, it is the sweater that I made for my friend for his birthday, and no, I did not finish it on his birthday. I just didn't manage it because, like I said, my mojo was just not there. So I told him that there were some delivery problems, some issues with the factory, and I gifted it to him last week because, or this week, because he was on holidays, which gave me enough time to really finish it and be happy with it. So I made the Semper sweater by the Knit Purl Girl in size B for my friend, and this is what it looks like. It's a really nice, simple sweater. I had a lot of fun making this, even though it is really simple. You have, pardon me, I already got fluff in my mouth. You have a double, well, a folded over collar, some really nice sleeves. It is a raglan construction, as you can see, and a nice long body. It's still a bit damp because I only washed it a few days ago. So what I had him do, I knitted it shorter because I knew it would grow with blocking. So I knitted it a bit shorter, let him try it on, and then see how much I have to stretch it or can't stretch too far, so it would fit him perfectly. So that should now fit fairly nicely. I also put in a label. I never do these things for my sweaters because I usually know where the front and the back is, and I can't be bothered because it's hand sewing. But it just says handmade, just for him to know where the front and back is, because the short rows that you do, as you can see from the neckline, there are not that many short rows and it's not that deep as, for example, the Moby sweater. I mean, I know this is a drop shoulder and completely different construction, but just for reference. As for the yarn, I do have leftovers, which I'm very happy with and a little bit surprised, because I was stressing about not having enough. I used Drops Karisma, which is a 100% superwash wool, and this is color 56. It's a really nice heathered yarn, or not heathered, but it's not a solid color. It's got some like whites in it, which makes it a bit grey almost. I really like this color. I want to get more of this and have a sweater of on my own with this color. I'm just really into the browns and beiges at the moment. I don't know why, but yeah. Anyways, this is what the fabric then looks like. It's really nice. It fits in really well color wise as well, and I hope you can still get some wear out of it, because like I said, it will get warmer over this weekend and it might not drop down to 10 degrees again. So spring is just all over the place and very difficult to dress, very difficult to do things, because one minute it could be sunny and the next minute it could be snowing. But I guess that's April for you. The pattern was really simple. I would make it again. I'm not entirely sure, I'm not entirely happy with the collar. I told you about it last time, but for those of you who didn't watch the last episode, in the fold over collar, Sophie tells you to make one purl row for the fold. I don't like the look of the purl bumps, so I tried a new technique and used a yarn over, knit two together, and that gives you like this. Let's open this up a bit. I don't think I can anymore. It's very square. You can definitely see the holes with the yarn overs. You probably can't see it all. Just trust me when I say that there are holes, because obviously you do the yarn over and it didn't give it the perfect fold. I would have much preferred to just do the 3 rows of double knitting that I used in the, or I got introduced to in the Moby sweater and used ever since, because I absolutely love how the fold looks. I was just being lazy, to be honest, and I really shouldn't have done that, because what it does is it doesn't give it a nice round fold. It's almost square, because the knit two togethers are quite bulky and you literally have a hole at the top. So I'm not happy with that, but I think he doesn't really care. It sits nicely on his neck. It might be a bit too high for him to wear, because I know he likes like no lower necklines, but at that point I just didn't care. I did everything to pattern apart from the sleeve decreases, because my gauge is off. I don't know how, I don't know what happened. I mean, normally I don't check gauge because I'm not bothered if the sweater is oversized, because I like my sweaters oversized anyways, so I'm really not fussed about it. And since I usually make the smaller size anyways, it's not as if I could go down a size to make it fit better. Like, that is the only option that I have. So for this one I actually measured the gauge and I was way off. You're supposed to use 4.5mm needles. I sized down to 4 and still had a gauge of like 18, 19 stitches, which actually is an Aran weight for a DK weight pattern and fabric that's it's supposed to be. I asked you on Instagram if I should continue, if I should bring back, what your opinions are on it, and all of you said just leave it. It doesn't really matter. If it's bigger, then fine. If not, then you just did it as the pattern told you to. So I just continued. I did size down, like I said, because I was really pulling the yarn with the 4.5mm needles to try and get a smaller gauge, and then I sized down to 4 and it was the same fabric. So I knit the whole thing on 4mm and the cuff was on 3.5, I believe. So yeah, it honestly, gauge wise, I don't know about how much the actual ease now is, but to be honest, because I know it fits him really nicely, it's not super baggy, it's not as if the armhole depth is like down to his waist or whatever. I'm really happy with it, so I really don't care anymore. Yeah, that is everything I think I have to say about the Semper sweater. It's a really nice, simple garment. I just need variety. I found that out a couple of months ago. I like involved knitting, and when I knit on something like this where it's just plain stockinette, I just lose interest after about the yoke, because that's when it's just knitting in the round, and that's why I put it off for so long, because nothing was happening. So I do need more involved knits, which gets me into the whip section of this episode. As I mentioned before, I did make a lot of cabled garments. Well, when I say a lot, I mean like 2 since the beginning of the year. But this one is very involved. And it's still going on. I thought it would be done by now. I hoped it would be done by now, but it's still going on. This is the Colette Pullover by Sari Nordlund. I love this piece. I think it looks so nice. And I finally have a collar. And for this collar I did use the double knitting pad to make the nice fold line. And let me tell you, this collar was not fun to knit. You use 3mm needles for the rimming section and 3.5 for the rest of the pattern. And because I'm sensitive around my neck, I just ditched the mohair for the collar section, because I knew that it would itch. The yarn is nice, but it's not fun to work with for me. This is Bûches Le Petite lambswool in the color grey beige, and it's a fingering weight yarn. It's 100% wool, and it's just very, very thin. And because of the way I hold my yarn, it goes over my nail bed, and specifically this yarn really dug into that part of my finger, which made making the collar really not fun, because I would just have this red line going across my finger, and I wouldn't be able to knit on anything else anymore as well. So that wasn't great. I'm using it with the same mohair, Bûches, the just Silk Mohair in the same colour, grey beige, and together it makes it a really nice grey. And like I said, since last time I finished off the collar and the body's done and I started one sleeve, I have one more repeat left of this for the sleeve. And to be honest, I am a tiny bit worried about the size. I am making size 1. I can't quite remember about ease. It might be a tight fitting sweater. I really can't remember, because this has been going on for months now, almost 5 months, because I started this in January. So it looks child sized. Let me pull it back. It looks tiny. I know cables will grow and stretch with washing, so I know it will look like this instead of this scrunched up. But this sleeve looks tiny. The drop also is not as dramatic as I thought it would be for a relatively oversized sweater. But I'll just have to see. I'll just have to trust the process. And honestly, if it's a bit tighter, skin tight, I'm just gonna have to live with it. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna make this pattern again. I'm not gonna reknit this whole sweater. Don't get me wrong, I love the pattern. I think it's a beautiful design. I love Sari. Her writing style is really nice to work from. It's very clear. She often has the charts at the end, so because I like working from charts, this has made my life a lot easier. And she just knows what she's doing, and it's really nice to follow her patterns. But because this has taken me so long and it's such an involved knit, I'm not gonna make a second one of these. Yeah, that is just my opinion. Nothing against the pattern, whatever. I did have a lot of fun starting it at the beginning, but I really just lost steam on it because it's been going on for so long. So yeah, currently working on the sleeve. I have one more ball of mohair left. I'm not sure if I will actually use a lot of the second ball, because I'm almost done with the first sleeve and I still have so much left of it. I was worried about the reason why I put off the collar for such a long time was because I wasn't sure if I had enough of this yarn, of the wool. I did purchase the correct amount from what the pattern told me to, so in my head logically I knew I would have enough, but the emotional side of my knitting brain was like, oh my gosh, do I have enough? I could have also done the collar a bit higher. I did try it on to see, but obviously it doesn't really give you a lot of it doesn't give you an accurate picture of what it's actually going to look like, because everything is so scrunched up. I do want to wet block it. I don't want to steam it before just to see, because I don't like this method. I would rather just throw it in some water, let the yarn fully relax as the whole garment, instead of just having like half of it blocked, half of it unblocked, the other half not knowing what to do, etc. So this sleeve is also taking a lot longer than I anticipated. I don't know why, even though it is on a smaller circumference. Sleeves generally only take me about a day, but this has been going on for a little longer. Anyways, next time I am praying that I have finished this project, because I don't even think I will be able to wear it because it's going to be too hot and I can't wear mohair sweaters like this outside anymore. We'll see what happens. I don't know, we might get like -5 degrees in, well, like next week. Alright, that is the first whip, and the second whip that I have been working on is also something you've seen so many times now, and it's also still going on. This is the Pippin sweater by the Knit Purl Girl, and I'm still on the yoke. I think this is the longest yoke I have ever made in my knitting journey and yoke history. I really need to put like some yarn in it so I know where the front and the back is, because you do have short rows with this one as well. This is what it looks like. I know my cable is not long enough, but I'm not going to change it because I should hopefully be done with the yoke pretty soon. But this is the gorgeous texture. You have this really high collar. Again, it is folded over. Again, I used double knitting, and you have this really nice texture with just created with knits and pearls. The texture is really fun to knit on, so I'm really enjoying this project. That's another thing why I haven't worked on it that much, because I enjoy the project so much that I kind of don't want it to finish, so I just kept it pushing back, which is just a ridiculous thought. Anyways, I'm making size 2, and like I just said, I should be done with the yoke pretty soon. It almost looks, well, no, maybe not on camera as well. Just thought it almost looks like the white I'm wearing, but no, it is beige. This color is called Marzipan, and the yarn is Drops Daisy. It is a really, really nice wool. It is non-superwash. I think it's merino wool, or just normal wool, I don't know. Oh no, extra fine merino wool. I love this yarn. It is such a pleasure to work with this. I bought loads more after I started this project because I really enjoyed working on it so much. And this is just such a pleasurable knit that I know I can also knit on this when it does get warmer, because I don't use mohair or anything, and it's not a thick wool. You work on 4mm needles. I'm using my wooden ones for this one, and I don't think there's that much to tell you about this project, because I talked about this extensively as well in the other episodes, but I'm just really, I'm just really enjoying it. Obviously I want to have the finished object, and I want to eventually wear it, but who knows when that's gonna be, because yeah, I'm kind of fed up with the projects that have been on my needles for such a long time, like the Colette pullover. Like, I want to either finish it or leave it in the corner. I have one whip that's still lingering, the porcelain sweater. I've not worked on this one at all, and I put it in timeout once again because I want new things on my needles. I think that is also something that's going to bring back my mojo, because when I am starting a new project, there's all this excitement of getting the yarn ready, seeing what needles work, and just starting something new instead of the old things over and over again. But yeah, the Pippin sweater, really enjoyable pattern. It does have a short rows, just like I think all of Sophie's patterns. Yeah, I think if you're a beginner, this would be a nice project to start with. Even though it's overall texture, the texture really is very simple, and it's very easy to see what is a knit and what is a purl. and when to do what. Maybe the only tricky part are the short rows, but in my opinion the short rows also were very clear. I've had much worse experiences with short rows, but this wasn't one of them. And yeah, I'm excited to see where this when this project will be done, where it will what will happen. And speaking of casting on new things, I literally just cast this one on, so there is really not a lot to see. But this will be the Millie cardigan by Irene. If you have watched my last video, which is a spring pattern, like 15 knitting spring patterns, it's like a collection, some ideas for you. You will have seen this cardigan in it. I fell in love with it. I think it looks gorgeous and I really want it in my wardrobe. So I bought the pattern and I cast it on, so this is what this will be. I still need more cardigans in my wardrobe. This I feel like I'm a broken record in this sense, because I always tell you I need more cardigans in pretty much every single video at this point. But I think because I don't like purling as much, and it just takes me way too long to have it in like as an enjoyable process, I thought let's try something different. The Millie cardigan is an overall lace pattern, and you do use a sport weight, I believe. I'm using a DK weight, but it's fine. It's an overall lace pattern, so I thought because lace is involved and the back can be pearls but the front, the right side, is different, it might be more enjoyable. We'll see. I'm very excited to start this. I think the lace is very delicate, very beautiful, and will fit with a lot of dresses that I have in my wardrobe, a lot of handmade dresses because I also sew. So I cast it on. I am using Drops Cotton Merino. It is a superwash yarn, a blend of 50% wool, 50% cotton, and the stitch gauge is 21 stitches. I did make a small gauge swatch, which I then unraveled again for the needle size, and it is close enough. I'm using 3.5mm needles, and it should be fine because I am once again making the smallest size, and even if that one turns out just a little bit bigger, so be it. I believe I'm making the smallest size, either size 1 or 2. I still have to put up the Ravelry project, so if I'm not accurate here, you can always check out my Ravelry page, because I have the correct things and yarn, colours, etc. over there. Colour wise for this is colour number 3. I'm not loving the colour. It's like a grey beige, and it's variegated. I don't think the camera picks it up that well, but the strand actually has a lighter thread wrapped around the darker beige colour. So we'll see how the cardigan will turn out. I'm making the short sleeved version for now. This yarn was supposed to go to the April cardigan, but when am I gonna actually make this one? We'll see. Colour wise, yeah, I'm not when I bought this colour I wasn't super excited about it, because I just expected something different. To me it is a bit too grey, a bit too, like, I don't know, I wouldn't say poopy coloured, but too dead in a sense. Colours to me can be either very vibrant or dead, and that kind of falls into the later category, which is a shame. But if I really don't like the garment, I can just try dyeing it. I've never done that before, or gift it. We'll see. Maybe I will just fall in love with it and everything's fine, who knows. We'll have to see. But I'm excited to start this project. It seems, because you're working flat, like a semi-portable project, it is the same repeat over and over again, with knits, pearls, yarn overs, and probably SSKs and knit two togethers. So everything I've done before, nothing really special or fancy, and it has these really beautiful cables running down the side of the raglan increases, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Very much looking forward to that. I'm especially looking forward to the cuff on the arm, because it has, the short sleeve version has this really nice scalloped edge, and I've never done a scalloped edge and I'm intrigued. Okay, that is now really the last project that I have so far. In terms of future projects, I am participating in the Hirismakes Summer Knits Cowl. She hosts it every year between April and I think June. You have quite a long time, and I have a discount code for her. If you use the code Ravelry10, you get 10% off your order, and she already has a bundle discount code as well. So if you buy like 3 patterns, you get a certain amount of percents discount. I don't know if that was English, but if you use mine now as well, you get even more off. So go and check that out. The link is down below. And I really like her summer patterns. I've made quite a few before, and I'm in love with her Lotus Petal top. This is one of the first summer garments I've ever made, and I do need a second one because the first one, I wouldn't say it's falling apart, but it's not as fresh looking as it used to be. So I do want to cast that one on, and I'm gonna use Drops Saffron again. This is the same yarn I used for my first one. The first one was just in beige, and this one is going to be in a nice chocolate color. This is color 68. Because I know I have a lot of this yarn, I bought a really big amount of Drops Saffron in 3 different colors: brown, beige, and a bricky red. Years ago. That was not recent. I know that this yarn works. This is 100% cotton, and I love wearing something with this yarn in summer because it's so light and airy and doesn't stick to my body. So that will definitely be a future cast on very soon, because I want to participate in the cowl. They're always a lot of fun, and you put the hashtag in the picture of your Instagram post, and then you will automatically be in the giveaway that she's doing to get some patterns for free, I think is what the cowl is about. Very fun, very excited. Definitely going to be doing that very soon. In terms of other projects, I was at home. I went home for Easter. That's a month ago now. And I made a summer shirt 2 years ago, and I just didn't, I enjoyed the process, but I didn't like the fit. It is a Sandnesgarn summer shirt. You might remember this one. I have no idea what the name is. It's from a Sandnesgarn booklet. It could be like Snowbell. I could be wrong on that, but this is what it looks like. I used a Sandnesgarn Line for this shirt, held single, and it is just a round yoked t-shirt, but as you can see, it is incredibly wide. It's incredibly wide and incredibly deep. So what happens is that the pattern itself, these eyelets, are all the way down to my bust. So you have to wear a nude bra underneath, and even then you still see the bra. And I wasn't happy with the fit. I then told my mum that she could have it, but she just never wore it, I think, as well, because also it's not really her colour. The colour is aubergine as far as I remember. And so I decided that I would take back the shirt and I would unravel it. I still have to do that, but I'm just going to reclaim the yarn. It is a shame because I had a lot of fun making these eyelets. I think they're supposed to be flowers or like leaves or something. But yeah, the fit just wasn't right. There are absolutely no short rows, which made it fit even weirder than it normally does, with a round yoke. And yeah, I just want to use the yarn for something different. I don't know what I would use it for. If you have any ideas, let me know down below. But I know I have some more of this in a different colour, I think. And it is one of my favourite summer yarns. It's very nice to wear. It's very nice to work with as well. But I'm not sure if purple really is the colour for me. So I'm just going to reclaim it, put it in my stash, and we're going to see what happens. Alright, I just had to get up and get some things. I do have some yarn. I have one yarn acquisition and one other exciting acquisition. So for the yarn, I picked up something really exciting, because when I went home, like I just mentioned, I stopped by the local yarn shop there, and it's always fun to go in there. They have amazing yarn. They have lots of like hedgehog fibers, lots of fenavolle, Etal, all of this exciting but also expensive yarn. And I picked up some Pascali yarn. This is Pascali Pinta in this absolutely gorgeous petroleum colour. I fell in love with this. This is just everything to me. This is colour 109. And Pinta is a mix of 60% virgin wool, 20% rami, and 20% silk. I almost read the same thing again in German. I looked up what rami is, but I now forgot once again. It is incredibly soft because of the silk, and it's only 60% wool. It is really nice and floppy. As you can see, it has absolutely no structure whatsoever to hold the shape, which I think would make it a really nice summer, or like at least transitional garment, because it's 60% wool. I bought 2 of these. In one you get 212 meters, so like a standard mohair ball. And with these I thought I could make the oolong tea tank, I don't know, the oolong, whatever it is, by Amy Shear. I think this will be perfect because it is a lacy pattern. It is a slip over ish, well, looks wise. It has no sleeves, it only has ribbing, and I think that this would look absolutely great in it. So I picked these 2 up. I'm really happy with it. I'm gonna cake them up and maybe start on them very soon. We'll see about it, how I will get along, how I get on with my other whips, because I would like to finish my winter whips before I start all of the lighter things. So that is the only yarn acquisition. And then something really exciting arrived in the post. I treated myself at Christmas for a little Christmas goodie, and it arrived. I ordered the Arctic knits by the Petite knitter. I think her patterns are so gorgeous. I got it on pre-order, so it is signed, which makes me really happy. I love some signed books because they just make it so much more special. And there are some really gorgeous patterns in there. lots of sweaters, you have mittens, you have hats. I think there is something in it for everyone. I especially love the socks. I have a lot of sock patterns from her, like these ones. They're just, oh, they're just so beautiful. It is just colour work. That is also what she's known for, and I can't wait to start working on some of these things. Like I said, I do want to make some colour work socks. I'm not great at them, but they're just so beautiful that I just need to pick up some yarn that I would like to have them in, because I don't have that much sock yarn, and I also don't have the right colours for what I want. So really happy that this arrived. Loads of really nice sweaters. I made my most recent one from her is the tuku. I loved working on that pattern, and she's very thorough with the instructions and how she words things, so it's very easy to follow. So I'm really happy this arrived. I can now put it in my collection, and with it came a card with a discount code for the yarn and a stitch marker, which is a little polar bear, really cute, and a what's it called, ruler. That's what it's called. My gosh, my brain just had a glitch. A ruler. And then you have these polar bears along here where you can put the yarn in, like on the top here, so you know pardon me, so you know what the main colour is, and then the contrast colour 1 to 4. Really cool, really nice idea, especially with the polar bears stamped out. Really cute. So this all arrived around my birthday, which made it even better. Right, that is everything yarn and knitting related. Now a little life update. If you're not interested, then I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you are, do stick around, because I have a few things and exciting things to tell you. I need a sip of tea before that. Let's put it the other way. I am running my first half marathon in September. This might be cliche because everyone seems to be getting into running and wanting to run a marathon, a half marathon, etc. But I have decided that it is time for me, because I've been enjoying it so much. I started running at the beginning of February and I really enjoyed it, and I took the bullet and signed up for the first half marathon in September. I didn't realize that marathon season is over summer. I expected it to be in autumn, which is wrong, because all of the marathons, I mean, we just had the Vienna City Marathon last weekend, and I know at the same time it was the London Marathon and 2 others. So I don't know why I thought that. It's because the marathon that we normally have in my hometown is in October, but that seems to be the last one of the year, so that is something new that I learned. So I wanted something that is fairly long in the future, and I'm gonna be running the Wachauer Marathon, well, half marathon. It is in Lower Austria. It's not very far from Vienna, and you just run along the Danube, and it's supposed to be a really nice flat way, which is great because I don't like hills. They are, yeah, just more exhausting. But I'm really excited with that, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I have already kind of started training ever since I started running, because to me it was always clear I want to run at least a half marathon in autumn, distance wise, if I wouldn't run an actual race. And now I signed up for it. I have a lot of respect because it is 21 kilometers. That is a long way, but last weekend I ran my first 10Ks. I felt amazing, and that gave me a lot of confidence, that confidence boost that I really needed to not only sign up but be confident in my body's ability to do that. So very exciting. I'm gonna obviously keep you updated. I'm having some troubles with my knees and my ankle, but it's not as bad as it could be right now. I am taking it slow. I am trying not to get injured, because I did that the first 2 weeks from when I started running. But yeah, really happy, really excited with that one. And to me, those are some major news, because it's something new and I've never done before. Apart from that, I started sewing again, and I sewed these lovely shorts. I'm going to insert a picture because I had a lot of fun. I can also only recommend the pattern. Is from Daria Pattern Making, I think is her name. Had a lot of fun. I'm going to make another long trousers pair. And I'm getting back into buying fabric to make all of the nice beautiful dresses that I want. And yeah, apart from that, I don't think anything super exciting has happened. It's just been work events, which are always fun, and meeting new people. And yeah, my birthday was great as well. I know this is very long in the past now, my birthday as well. It was at the end of March, but I had a lovely time as well. Spent it with family and friends, and then Easter came round. I was visiting my grandparents. We had a really nice, our just usual traditional Easter meal, and then I came back to Vienna and spent some time here. Right, that is everything from my side. Let me know what you're knitting on, how you've been getting on over the past few weeks down below in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It is a long one this time, but there was also a lot to tell you, and I hope that this is okay for you as well. I'm gonna see you in the next video. Check out my other two if you want to know about spring knitting patterns, or what yarn and garment combinations are best for the Austrian seasons. And like and subscribe to my channel if you feel like sticking around and want to know more about me. And I'm gonna see you next time. Happy knitting! Bye!